Following the recent events that have taken place, many are fearing we are on the brink of a third world war. Iran has sworn they will take revenge and already have a plan in place to avenge the death of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. President Trump has made it very clear that if there is an attack on American citizens or US soil, he will be quick to react. As of now, people are anxiously waiting to see what either country's next move is. Other countries have also chimed in, with majority condemning the United States or President Trump for carrying out the assassination, which was done via airstrike. South Africa's African National Congress Party called the attack an act of international terrorism. Turkey's foreign minister said the killing of Soleimani is a serious risk for peace in the region. The daughter of the late Soleimani spoke at her father's funeral, which was broadcast across state television, saying, "Crazy Trump, don't think that everything is over with my father's martyrdom." She also said the US and Israel will face a dark day for his death. So with all that's happened recently, we decided to ask a question many of you may be wondering. What if you got drafted into World War III? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host, Jared Bronstein, and today we'll be looking into a very interesting question. Before we go any further, make sure to subscribe, click the bell icon to never miss a video, and share this one with a friend you think would be interested. We got some bonus content coming at the end of this one, and be sure to let me know in the comments below if you think there is a real chance of a third world war breaking out. But for now, we need to talk about how likely a world war is to break out and what would happen if you were drafted to fight in that war. For those of you who don't know, drafting soldiers for the war started back in 1863 during the American Civil War. The practice continued for over 100 years, seeing American men get selected at random to fight for their country. This was the case in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, as well as the Vietnam War. In 1973, the draft was abolished, and being a part of the military was volunteer-based, and it has been ever since. However, American men between the ages of 18 and 25 are required to register with the Selective Service Administration, SSA, who have a list of eligible American men whom would be called upon if the US reinstated the draft. Now, most American men between 18 and 25 watching this video are probably thinking they never agreed to this. And although you might not have realized, you most likely did. Registering for the SSA is required in some states to apply for jobs, get grants and student loans, and even to get your driver's license, according to the SSA website. With that being said, the website also states registering doesn't make you a part of the military. It simply means in the case of a draft, which hasn't happened in almost 50 years, your name would be entered into a lottery to be picked. And if you're lucky, or unlucky depending on how you look at it, and you do get picked, you then have to pass a mental, physical, and morale fitness test by the military before you're officially enrolled or deferred. And that's if Congress passes that they need to reinstate the draft in the first place, which, let's be real, they don't. With all that being said, if somehow, some way a draft was reinstated and your name was called upon to fight for your country, what would that mean? Well, as previously mentioned, you need to pass a few tests first. If you did pass all the required tests and officially became a member of the armed forces, you'd then need to be assigned and deployed somewhere. Now, when people think of war or being drafted to fight a war, they immediately think of the act of fighting. Bombs going off, people getting shot or shooting guns, limbs being severed, you know, the stuff you see in movies. And unfortunately, that is a very realistic scenario. It does happen. But there are tons of other aspects that come with being a part of the army or going to war. There are other jobs, albeit they may not seem as heroic, they still exist. Administrative jobs, for example, are still jobs that need to be filled. This was the case for Mark Leepson, who was drafted on July 11th, 1967 to fight during the Vietnam War. Mark explains he was scared. He didn't think he'd be the one to get drafted. And over the course of reading his New York Times article published back in 2017, I was waiting to read the part where he landed on international soil and saw his best friend die beside him. Or the part where he didn't think he'd see his family again. Or even the part where he talked about what it was like to kill a man. I didn't read any of those things. Instead, I read about a man recalling the years when he feared those things would happen, but they didn't. After going through military boot camp, losing some fat, gaining some muscle, getting a haircut, and being berated by drill sergeants, Mark would find himself getting assigned a position no less than 5 months after being drafted. And for the next 12 months, Mark would be working in the personnel management section as a redeployment clerk. He was tasked with sending people home from the war. As you can see, being drafted into war doesn't necessarily always mean you're going to be fighting in hand-to-hand combat or shooting people with an AK-47. There is the possibility, of course, but there is no guarantee by any means. And as previously mentioned, the odds of a draft even being reinstated are slim to none. Reports claim there are currently 1.4 million active members of the military, and there doesn't seem to be much of a push from any politician to reinstate the draft, which has proven to be extremely unpopular among Americans in general anyways. And not to generalize here, but odds are, if you're watching this video though, as an American man, statistically speaking, you probably wouldn't be drafted. According to a report from the Pentagon dating back to 2017, 71% of American men between 18 and 25 wouldn't be eligible to be drafted for one of three reasons: no high school diploma, a criminal record, or obesity. Another important note to mention here, if you haven't realized this far into the video, I've been saying American men, not citizens, men. And it's not because women aren't eligible to enroll into the army. As we know, there are both men and women fighting on behalf of the United States. However, when it comes to the law and the possibility of a draft, well, women have absolutely nothing to worry about. The Selective Services Law refers specifically to male persons, so to require women to register, Congress would need to amend the law previously passed. A Supreme Court decision dating back to 1981 held that registering only men did not violate the Due Process Clause of the Constitution. However, this may change sooner than later. In 2015, the Pentagon changed the requirements, allowing women to register for all combat positions in the military. Back in February of 2019, a judge ruled excluding women from the draft was unconstitutional. However, the Pentagon has yet to change any of their laws regarding that. So to wrap up, as you can clearly see, the odds of being drafted to fight in a third world war are slim to none. Even the idea of a third world war actually happening are incredibly slim, so you don't have much to worry about there either. But if somehow you did in fact get drafted to fight in a war that probably won't happen in the first place, well, there's no telling where you'd be deployed. You may work from the United States on an army base, or be sent overseas to work in Iraq or Iran. You may be deployed to fight against other soldiers and possibly risk not returning home. But there's also the possibility you do return and receive accolades for your achievements. There's no way of determining where you would go and what would be expected or required of you. But one thing is for sure, the odds of a draft happening are extremely unlikely, and based on statistics, the majority of Americans watching this video wouldn't be eligible to fight anyways. Now, as always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think the United States should bring back the draft? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments section down below. For now, we got some comments to reply to from the video. What if Donald Trump starts World War III? Jordan B said, honestly, can you even say Happy New Year anymore? That's referring to me starting the video saying, hey guys, Happy New Year. I don't know if it was like inappropriate to start the video that way. I just wanted to say Happy New Year because I hadn't done a video in the new year, and I just wanted to wish you guys a Happy New Year, even though the recent events that have transpired aren't the most positive. It's just the start. We can have a great year, guys, so let's just stay positive. Potato Mato said, if Trump starts World War III, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. You got no argument there. Either way, that kind of works. If he does start it or he doesn't start it, one thing is for sure, Epstein did not kill himself. The Brick Guy 7939 said, time to move to the moon. Well, I'm just gonna end this video by saying good luck with that. And on that note, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. You guys have been watching Life's Biggest Questions. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below how you guys would feel about a draft happening, or if you think it'll ever happen again, and we'll see you guys in the next one.